There's a fellow here who says, Shane from the United States, I've been thinking of joining the Army National Guard, but I can't get past the whole killing aspect of it. I want to serve, and I know he says we shouldn't kill. Can you please tell me where it says, preferably in the New Testament, that if we are in the military or if it's our mission to defend ourselves, it's okay to kill? I would love to serve and protect in the military. Oh, and that's wonderful. I have to be all in if I make this choice. This means if necessary or ordered to pull the trigger in war, I won't be disobeying God. I turned down the recruiter today because I need to know this first. Okay. Very interesting. I say that because there is a slight difficulty in dealing with this subject. The reason is this. In the Bible, he said, thou shalt not kill, and stopped there. And anybody could interpret that in different ways to say, don't kill animals, don't kill people, don't kill whatever. But I think before you eat chicken, you've got to kill it. Or before you eat beef, you got to kill it. And he did show us that eating of certain animals wasn't wrong. So evidently, the instruction to not kill was not just a generic term for everything. Because if he said you could eat those animals, they had to be killed first to be eaten. So you take to the next step about human beings. He led Israel to war and helped them in appointing leaders that will help them to go to war. In fact, he anointed David and helped him kill the enemy, the advancing troops from other nations. So God helped them in war, and they did kill their adversaries in war. And God blessed them for doing it. Meaning that he didn't consider that killing as an offense to his law. But when they killed maliciously, when they killed in time of peace, or when they killed a man who was surrendering, God said something was wrong. Which means that even in war, there must be rules of engagement. And that's why even today, they are prosecuting certain people for what they call war crimes. Because some things are allowed in war and some things are not allowed in war. There are rules of engagement. Now, but even with all of that, which seems to suggest that that God is okay with it, we notice something unique. And that's why I said it's a very difficult subject. When God asked David, he made him king, blessed him, and gave him the commission for the building of a temple. And David was excited. He received the plan from God. And he's going to start building. And God says, no, you can't build me a temple. Lord, why? God said, you killed too many people. He said, your hands are full of blood. You killed too many people. So your son will build it. That shows us that even though God helped him in fighting those wars, fighting those battles, it was not his best way of dealing with things. It means that God still thought that he shed too much blood. And he would rather give the glory to his son Solomon. That does mean that when it is avoidable, war is unnecessary. In fact, most of the wars in our world have been unnecessary wars. Wars fought by selfish or created by selfish men and women for things that were never necessary to fight about. There were a few necessary wars, and there will still be some, but a whole lot of them have been unnecessary. And so you say, how do you decide between the necessary war and the unnecessary war? Well, depends on the subject and how to deal with them. And that's why we always need intelligent leaders, see, who are not going to take their steps on selfish, for selfish reasons, and selfish gains. And some people hold back when they shouldn't hold back. There are a whole lot of stuff. But not every war is wrong. See, not every war is wrong. Some are right for the right causes, yes. Okay, so at the end of the day, answering your question, I said it looks a bit difficult. Depends on what you want from God and the kind of life you want to live. But I think it is wrong for anybody to say, I don't believe in war and killing, and then you stay in a nation that's being defended by other people with their blood while you stay in peace and say you're enjoying it. I think it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction. They are fighting for your peace, for you to live in the land happily. And you say you don't believe in war. It just doesn't make sense. See, it doesn't make sense. If you don't believe in it, then fight to end it, which means there's got to be some fight somehow. Sometimes some war had to be fought because of peace. It's a whole other story. But for those who put themselves on the line and join the army and help to fight, we're always grateful for all what you do for your country, for your people.
Life has many chapters, full of moments, full of pages. But before you turn that next page, find out how it was written and how it can be rewritten as Pastor Chris introduces you to the laws of the Spirit that create moments in your life.
There are too many questions that man has no answers to. The reason is this: man is a spirit. And because man is a spirit, he must participate in the realm of the Spirit.
So, write the story of your life with the Word of God, because life is spiritual. Life is Spiritual, a brand new release by Pastor Chris, now available on DVD and other video, audio, and downloadable formats. To order, please call the following numbers, or you can download on mobile at the Pastor Chris Digital Library app.
Do you have questions for Pastor Chris? Then send your questions to the Pastor Chris Super User account or the Pastor Chris Live Yukos Communities on King's Chat. You can also send it to askpastorchris@helloloveworld.org.